It's my immense pleasure to give introduction for Professor Raj Gupta, ma'am. Professor Raj Gupta has a vast experience of about 32 years of teaching and research at Punjab University and SNDT Women's University, Mumbai. She has shared and coordinated various activities at Punjab University. These include chairperson of Department of Education, formal chief coordinator, Institute of Educational Technology and Vocational Education, coordinator exchange program in Simon Fraser University, Canada, and Punjab University, and coordinator UGC SAP, that is Special Assistance Program, Department of Education. Professor Gupta is a member of numerous academic bodies like Joint Research Board at Punjab University, College Development Council, Research Development Committees at many universities. Board studies of 5 universities, Special Education and Inclusion Committees of Haryana and Punjab. She is the coordinator of Center for Academic Leadership and Education Management, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teaching, Teacher and Teaching Scheme of MHRD at Punjab University. Her lustrous academic achievements include published 50 research papers, 2 books, 7 research tools with 8 chapters. She has presented more than 50 papers and talks and seminars and more than 100 extension lectures. Delivered more than 20 keynote addresses in national seminars of colleges and universities. She has guided 20 PhD theses and more than 100 master's dissertations. We welcome you, ma'am. Over to you. Ma'am, we can't hear you. Your microphone is on mute.
Yeah. Is it okay now? Yes. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Dr. Gupta.
Good morning. Thanks, Dr. Sujata. Sorry.
Yukti missed one thing. She has been our colleague for good 10 years and she has been a mentor for research. We have learned so much from her. So I'm really honored to have you with us today, Dr. Gupta. Really pleasure, absolute pleasure. So happy to see you. So Mike, all the platform to you now. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, thanks for inviting me, and I must congratulate you to organize this kind of research workshop, and I also wish you the best for the coming days. Now, I have few things to say before I start. Little bit of butterflies and anxiety because I'm doing for the first time an online lecture. Are you all able to hear me? Are you all able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, all right. Thank you. I would like to take questions in the end so that I don't get, distracted in between. Secondly, I'm from Department of Education now since 22 years. So many of my examples will be from education side. Third, you will have to bear with me. Most of my presentation is text-based. You will have to really listen. Please bear with me. I'm not a video person or a pictures person, so please listen carefully. I'm sure by the end of it, you will not repent. So, Shravan ji, I will try to make it bilingual. Shravan ji हैं? मैं अपनी तरफ से कोशिश करूंगी कि मैं बीच-बीच में हिंदी बोलूं ताकि आपको जितने भी हिंदी स्पीकर्स हैं उनको भी थोड़ा सा समझ में आ जाए. एक और चीज जो स्लाइड्स हैं ऐसा लगता है 42 बहुत ज्यादा होती हैं, लेकिन उनमें से कुछ 8-9 स्लाइड्स हैं जो सिर्फ 1 वर्ड हेडिंग्स हैं ताकि हम ओरिएंट हो जाएं कि अब ये आने वाला है. So otherwise slides are about 30-32. Yeah, can we begin? Yeah. Friends, the topic Dr. Bhan has entrusted me with is descriptive research, types and scope. Next, please. Betty, next, please. Yeah, this is my plan with you. I'll be first doing the concepts which occur in the title, then I'll be doing the types, then scope. I'm doing scope in terms of importance. We'll be dealing with scope as a concept also. Then I'm coming to limitations because normally limitations come along with scope. Then some references are there which you will be seeing. Next, please. We come to concepts. Yeah. Now, descriptive research, before I come to the actual matter, describes. It describes the present. Whereas the main two other types of research is historical and experimental. Historical deals with the past, whereas descriptive deals with the present. It describes the present. Experimental deals with what will happen if I do this. So to some extent futuristic. So descriptive research, I come to the definitions, records, analyzes, describes, interprets. These four things, records, analyzes, describes, and interprets. What is prevailing, the conditions that exist, the conditions which are prevailing. So four things about what prevails, what is happening. It may involve some type of comparison or contrast and attempts to discover relationship between non-manipulated variables. This is what is important. In experimental research, we manipulate variables, independent variable. But in descriptive research, we don't change anything. We study as it is. उसको हम नॉन मैनिपुलेटेड वेरिएबल्स बोलेंगे क्योंकि हम मैनिपुलेट नहीं कर रहे हैं उनको, हम उनको चेंज नहीं कर रहे हैं. ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात है कि नॉन मैनिपुलेटेड वेरिएबल्स के बीच में रिलेशनशिप देखती है डिस्क्रिप्टिव रिसर्च, ये इसका काम है. Next definition, descriptive research casts light on current issues or problems. Current चीज की बात करती है. Through a process of data collection that, of course, every research procedure does, that enables researcher to describe the situation completely. Now, what was important in the first definition, records, analyzes, describes, interprets what is, and then relationships in the non-manipulated variables. नीचे वाली में क्या है? It focuses on the current issues or problems. Doesn't focus on the past issues or future issues. Next, please. Next, please. Betty? Okay, I got it. Now, this describes the whole thing in a very comprehensive and encompassing way. Descriptive research is concerned with the conditions or relationships that exist, जो अब इस वक्त हैं, present में हैं, conditions या relationships. Practices that prevail, कौन सी practices आजकल चल रही हैं, beliefs, points of view और attitudes that are held. ये तीन चीजें, या belief या opinions या points of view या attitudes जो आजकल के टाइम पे लोग रखते हैं. Processes that are going on, जैसे practices that prevail, उसी तरह processes that are going on. Effects that are being felt. What are people feeling about some effects? Maybe effects of policies, practices, or trends that are developing. क्या ट्रेंड नए नए बन रहे हैं, क्या ट्रेंड डेवलप हो रहे हैं. At times, descriptive research is concerned with how, what is, it should have been in quotes, I'm sorry, with how part of that, or what exists is related to some preceding event. Very rarely, something which is existing now relates to just recent preceding event which has influenced the present condition. Then you take that also into account. So descriptive research describes the present conditions, the relationships which are existing now, practices which are prevailing now at present, processes which are going on, लोगों के विश्वास, लोगों के points of view, opinions, attitudes, जो आज के वक्त में दिख रहा है उसको डिस्क्राइब करती है आफ्टर डेटा कलेक्शन. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. एक और, descriptive research is concerned with the analysis of the relationship between non-manipulated variables. कोई भी non-manipulated जिनको हमने change नहीं किया उनके बीच में relationships और development of generalizations. उसके बाद जनरलाइज किया जाता है. हम नॉर्मली एक सैंपल पे काम करते हैं और वो जब सैंपल पे जो भी रिजल्ट्स आते हैं उनको हम उस पॉपुलेशन पे एक्सटर्नलाइज करते हैं, रिजल्ट्स को जर्नलाइज करते हैं, उन सब पे लागू करते हैं और एक्सटेंडिंग इट्स कंक्लूजंस बियॉन्ड द सैंपल ऑब्जर्व्ड. बेसिकली इस डेफिनेशन में मेन चीज क्या है? एनालिसिस रिलेशनशिप्स का बिटवीन नॉन मैनिपुलेटेड वेरिएबल्स एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ जनरलाइजेशंस. जो हम पॉपुलेशन पे, जो आपका मेन पॉपुलेशन को क्या कहेंगे हिंदी में? जनसाधारण,
जनसंख्या.
जनसंख्या, ओके. आपका सैंपल जो छोटी चीज पे आप काम करते हो जैसे 25, 30, 50, 100, लेकिन जनसंख्या तो आपकी 2 लाख, 5 लाख, 4 करोड़ भी हो सकती है. सो यू टेंड टू जनरलाइज टू द मेन जनसंख्या. This was about the concept that it deals with the present, it records, describes, interprets present relationships, practices, processes, opinions, beliefs. ये सब इसके बारे में डिस्क्रिप्टिव रिसर्च के बारे में कॉन्सेप्ट है. ये क्या होता है हमने अब वो किया है. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. ये प्रोसेस जनरली सब तरह के मेथड्स हैं जो उनका मोस्टली सेम होता है विद अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ डिफरेंस. क्योंकि हम कॉन्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं, क्विकली आई विल गो ओवर इट. We need to identify the problem, that's a given, you have to do it. Literature review जैसे आपके गथू मैम कल बता रहे थे, रिव्यू जरूरी है किसी कोई भी मेथड में. Stating hypothesis और hypotheses और questions. कुछ ऐसी रिसर्चेस होती हैं जिनमें हाइपोथेसिस नहीं होता है और मैंने दोनों हाइपोथेसिस और हाइपोथेसिस इसलिए लिखे हैं कि एक भी हो सकता है. हम कई बार बड़ा डरते हैं एक हाइपोथेसिस प्रपोज करने से. ऐसा नहीं है, ज्यादा भी हो सकते हैं, लेकिन ये भी नहीं कि आप 54 हाइपोथेसिस बना दो. 10, 12, मैक्सिमम 15. और या आपके क्वेश्चंस भी हो सकते हैं बिफोर यू स्टार्ट. फिर आप सोचते हो किस सैंपल पे काम करना है, कहाँ से करना है, उसको किस तरह सिलेक्ट करना है, कौन सा प्रोसीजर देखना है, क्या टूल्स यूज करोगे या उनमें से सिलेक्ट करोगे जो ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल हैं या आप खुद बनाओगे. टूल डेवलपमेंट इन इटसेल्फ इज अ वेरी गुड प्रैक्टिस. कई बार क्या होता है, जो अवेलेबल टूल्स हैं उतने अच्छे नहीं होते या सूटेड नहीं होते. आपने महाराष्ट्र में काम करना है लेकिन जहां टूल बना है वो गुजरात का है, या 8वीं के बच्चे के लिए बना है, आपको 10वीं पे काम करना है. सो टूल डेवलपमेंट भी हो सकता है, जो ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल है सिलेक्शन भी हो सकता है. उसके बाद आप डेटा कलेक्ट करते हो. कई मेथड्स हैं डिस्क्रिप्टिव रिसर्च में, मैंने 2-3 यहाँ पे लिखे हैं. या तो आप क्वेश्चनेयर मेल कर देते हो, या चेकलिस्ट हो सकती है, रेटिंग स्केल हो सकता है, आप मेल कर देते हो, लोगों को भेज देते हो. या इंटरव्यू करते हो, ऑनलाइन भी हो सकती है, फेस टू फेस भी, टेलीफोनिक भी. ऑब्जर्व करते हो, कई बार सेटिंग्स में बैठ करके आप ऑनलाइन ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हो, रियल सेटिंग में बैठ के, रियल टाइम में बैठ के ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हो. या टेस्ट करते हो. डेटा बहुत तरह का आपके पास आ सकता है. सो कलेक्शन ऑफ डेटा, उसके बाद जो आपका डेटा आया है उसको एनालाइज करेंगे और कंक्लूड करेंगे. सो ये प्रोसीजर मोस्टली रिसर्चेस का सेम होता है, लेकिन एक्सपेरिमेंटल में जैसे ट्रीटमेंट आ जाएगा बीच में, हिस्टोरिकल में डेटा कलेक्शन थोड़ा अलग तरह से होगा क्योंकि आप डॉक्यूमेंट्स वगैरह देखते हो, लोगों को इंटरव्यू करते हो. लेकिन जो मेन स्टेप्स हैं, लिटरेचर रिव्यू, आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ प्रॉब्लम, एनालिसिस ऑफ डेटा, सैंपल सिलेक्शन, ये मोस्टली सब में सेम होते हैं. So that was about process of the descriptive research as a concept. Next, please. इस स्कोप क्या होता है? हम स्कोप वर्ड बहुत यूज करते हैं, बचपन से ही यूज करते हैं, बायोलॉजी में, जोलॉजी में, हिस्ट्री में, कि सब्जेक्ट का स्कोप क्या है. तब लगता था जो सिलेबस है वो स्कोप है. लेकिन फ्रंटियर्स ऑफ नॉलेज कहाँ कहाँ कोई भी सब्जेक्ट टच करता है. Extent of the area or subject matter that something deals with or which is relevant or to which it is relevant. तो मोस्टली उसमें क्या क्या हम कवर करते हैं स्कोप में आ जाएगा. कई बार ऐसे लगता है हम स्कोप को खुद भी लिमिट कर लेते हैं, उसको भी स्कोप ही कहेंगे. सेकंड, अपॉर्चुनिटी और पॉसिबिलिटी टू डू और डील विद समथिंग. कई बार सिचुएशन बहुत खराब हो जाती है, हम कहते हैं कोई स्कोप है या बहुत अच्छी हो रही होती है. इज देयर अ स्कोप टू इंटरवीन? इज देयर अ स्कोप टू पार्टिसिपेट? सो अपॉर्चुनिटी या फिर फ्रंटियर्स ऑफ नॉलेज. एक और मैंने देखा कुछ लिटरेचर में स्कोप के मीनिंग इंपॉर्टेंस या एप्लीकेशंस या यूजेस या यूटिलिटी. जो मुझे टॉपिक मिला है डिस्क्रिप्टिव रिसर्च, टाइप्स एंड स्कोप. जो टाइप्स है, जो फर्स्ट पार्ट मैंने बताया है, फ्रंटियर्स ऑफ नॉलेज ऑफ डिस्क्रिप्टिव रिसर्च कैन बी टाइप्स ऑल्सो. और इंपॉर्टेंस हम स्कोप की तरह कवर करेंगे. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. Yes, that was concepts building. Now I'm coming to the types. The books, the literature mentions types of descriptive research in a flow. Some of them classify, some of them misclassify. But the main two types have been mentioned in 3-4 books. Self-report research, wherein people on their own reports about what you are asking, what you are interested in. Second is observational research, wherein the sample subjects they behave naturally and you just observe. Self-report mein it is a sample which reports, whereas in observational research, it is a researcher who observes, writes, records, clicks pictures, makes videos or whatever. So whatever he observes, his role is more important. I have separated content analysis from observational research because it wasn't fitting there. The book had forcibly fitted it there. Content analysis deals with the documents analysis. No observation is required in that. You are reading it. So I separated it. Ex post facto has been put under descriptive research. Well, you can, but it deals with past. If I start with what were the effects of the gas leakage of the Union Carbide company, I would put it under ex post facto. So it deals with past as well as what has been the implications of that today. So I will not like to put it in ex post facto, but still you have your own take on that. Content analysis has been put in observational research by one author, L.R. Gay, and one more which I don't remember, but they're different classifying. I'll be going by these three. Whenever you look at any heading, you will find A or B or C in that with the description also. Next, please. I come to self-report research, which is further off 4 types. Maybe some books which I have not consulted may mention some more, but I am taking these 4 types. One more thing I must mention here, that when I'm dealing with the types, I'm supposed to be covering them in a very introductory way. If I start with details of that, then that itself becomes the main topic. So I'll be dealing with these and further observational research and content analysis in a very introductory way. Next, please. Survey research is the first type of self-report research. Now, what is it? It gathers data at a particular point in time. We select a particular point. When I say point, I don't mean to say 8:25 not like that. We select that within 2 months or 4 months of 1920, 2020, or whatever period you are interested in, you select a particular time with the intention of describing. We were doing this definition of descriptive research, where description is the main thing. Nature of existing conditions or identifying standards against which the existing conditions can be compared. या तो existing conditions को आप describe करते हो, पहला point, पहला part है जो इसका. दूसरा है आपके पास कोई स्टैंडर्ड है, कोई सेट नॉर्म है जिसके साथ जो डिस्क्रिप्शन है उसको कंपेयर करेंगे. तीसरा हो सकता है और डिटरमिनिंग द रिलेशनशिप दैट एग्जिस्ट बिटवीन स्पेसिफिक इवेंट्स और इवन वेरिएबल्स फॉर दैट मैटर. सो ये आप कंपेयर करते हो, उससे पहले आप डिस्क्राइब करते हो, और तीसरा है रिलेशनशिप्स जो वेरिएबल्स में हो सकते हैं. इसका मतलब जो सर्वेज हैं वो कॉम्प्लेक्स भी हो सकते हैं, बहुत सिंपल भी हो सकते हैं. अगर मैं बहुत सारा डेटा कलेक्ट करके बताती हूँ भाई ये मीन ये है, इसमें वेरिएबिलिटी ये है और स्क्यूनेस ये है, कर्टोसिस ये है, so I'm only describing the data in a very simplistic way. But the moment I compare it with another thing, it becomes a little more complicated. But the moment I find the relationships in two events or two variables or multiple variables, it becomes complex kind of survey research. So the complexity ranges from just the head counts. How many of children are above 14 kg weight? How many of children are below 14 kg weight? So I'm just counting heads. Big carriage, kitne kis category mein hai? Next, please. Next, okay. Types of surveys further. There could be many more. I have mentioned these many. Social and college surveys. Now, within social, one example is victimization of intellectually disabled children. You could have a study on that. In college surveys, you could have evaluation for affiliation. In ours, at least, we have many colleges affiliated to us, maybe 200. So they need to be evaluated every year, every 2 years, or every 5 years, depending on whether their affiliation is permanent or temporary or for 1 year. Public opinion surveys. As we were doing in the definition itself, opinions people hold, if you remember. Public opinion surveys may one example which these days media is also giving. Is China a frenemy? I'm sorry, F is missing. Is China a frenemy? Yukti, when you pass it on to others, please put F here. Educational surveys conducted by Pratham. So educational surveys also come in this. We all are familiar with ASER. International assessments to compare achievements or learning or cognition of children in various countries. School surveys by accrediting agencies. जो accrediting agencies हैं, जो उनको ग्रेड करती हैं पब्लिक के लिए फॉर देम टू नो कि भाई कैसा स्कूल है वगैरह वगैरह, उनको स्कूल सर्वेज में डाल सकते हैं. एटीट्यूडिनल सर्वेज, फॉर एग्जांपल एटीट्यूड टू न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी, एटीट्यूड टू बीजेपी और एटीट्यूड टू समथिंग एल्स. सो एटीट्यूडिनल. These are the main types which I have been wanting to mention. All these can be done in 3 ways. Face-to-face mode can be there. If I am directly facing you, I could give you the questionnaire and you could fill it and I take it. Or you have something to ask, I may, clarify minimally. Because every time somebody asks, my language can change, my explanation can change. Hence the research understanding of the subjects can be different. So minimal clarification. It can be telephonic survey also, it can be internet survey. All the above 6 types can be done by any of these methods. Next, please. Developmental studies is a second type of survey, within which we have 2 types, longitudinal and cross-sectional. I first come to what is developmental study. These are concerned primarily with behavioral variables that differentiate children at different levels of age, growth or maturation. हम सबको पता है जब बच्चे थोड़े बड़े होते हैं और बड़े होते हैं तो उनका एज भी चेंज होता है, ग्रोथ भी होती है सब तरफ से, मेंटल, फिजिकल, इमोशनल एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, और मैच्योरेशन. कई बार फिजिकल ग्रोथ बहुत हो जाती है लेकिन मैच्योरेशन उतनी नहीं होती. वी मे बी इंटरेस्टेड इन मैच्योरेशन. सो ये 3 लेवल्स हैं जिनकी वजह से बच्चों को डिफरेंशिएट किया जा सकता है, उनको अलग अलग लेवल पे देखा जा सकता है. प्रोग्रेशन अलोंग ए नंबर ऑफ डायमेंशन. क्या क्या चीजें हम देख सकते हैं इसमें? इंटेलेक्चुअल, फिजिकल, इमोशनल, सोशल, स्पिरिचुअल, मॉरल, और भी हो सकते हैं जो आज के टाइम में वैल्यू सिस्टम डेवलपमेंट, और देयर कैन बी मेनी मोर, बट दीज आर द कन्वेंशनल वंस. कि जो जितनी भी डेवलपमेंटल स्टडीज होती हैं उनको हम इंटेलेक्चुअल डायमेंशन पे, फिजिकल पे, इमोशनल, सोशल, स्पिरिचुअल और मॉरल डायमेंशंस पे स्टडी करते हैं. जैसे पियाजेशियन टास्क्स थे, पियाजे जो महारथी हुए हैं साइकोलॉजी के, कॉग्निटिव साइंस के, उन्होंने जो डेवलपमेंटल स्टडी की, कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट अमंग चिल्ड्रन. Kohlberg ने की moral development among children. You could have speech development, you could have language development. Chomsky may have done language development. So it depends on which aspect you're taking. And since there are changes all the time in society, a particular group can be taken, or larger groups can be taken to study moral development today, even emotional development, because loneliness is plenty. So that way, any aspect can be taken out of these, since there are a lot of changes in society. Even if the norms are available, even then you can do that as a research exercise, or as to study what are the differences today as compared to 10 years before. Now, developmental studies could use heterogeneous groups, which are totally where the sample subjects are totally different from each other. एग्जाम्पल इसका होगा स्पीच डेवलपमेंट इन यंग चिल्ड्रन. जब हम स्पीच डेवलपमेंट देखते हैं तो ये तो नहीं देखते बच्चा किस कास्ट का है या किस कैटेगरी का है, गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में पढ़ता है या नहीं पढ़ता है, या घर में रहता है. हम कोई दूसरा एस्पेक्ट नहीं देखते, सिर्फ स्पीच डेवलपमेंट देखते हैं. सो यू कैन हैव हेटेरोजेनस ग्रुप, बिल्कुल अलग अलग तरह के बच्चे हो सकते हैं. होमोजेनस ग्रुप्स, अब ये और तरह की स्टडी है, जैसे इंटेलेक्चुअल डेवलपमेंट अमंग द गिफ्टेड, or among the creative, or among the intellectually disabled, how do they develop, or among the Down syndrome children. It can be anything wherein you have the same type of children, then we say homogeneous groups. So developmental study can be on heterogeneous group जहाँ बिल्कुल अलग अलग हैं, और homogeneous groups जहाँ बहुत similarity exist करती है sample subjects में. It will depend on your need, your title of the research, that you heterogeneous or homogeneous. You are the best judge. Next, please. Thank you. Developmental studies may be longitudinal or cross-sectional. दो तरह की हो सकती हैं. In cross-sectional studies, different children at different stages of development are simultaneously studied. जैसे मान लो मैंने कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट स्टडी करना है या स्पिरिचुअल डेवलपमेंट स्टडी करना है बच्चों में. मैं क्या करती हूँ, अपने रिसर्चर्स को बोलती हूँ कि भाई आप पहली क्लास में काम करिए, आप दूसरी में करिए, आप तीसरी में करिए, आप चौथी में, आप पांचवी में, और हमारा टारगेट मान लो है 7वीं तक. तो एक रिसर्चर को पहली में, एक दूसरी में, तीसरी में भेज दिया. अगर मुझे जल्दी है तो साइमल्टेनियसली कर सकती हूँ. लेकिन अगर मैं ये सोचती हूँ कि एक ही रिसर्चर्स को पहले पहली में भेजूं फिर दूसरी में, उसमें टाइम लैप्स आ सकता है. हो सकता है आपके क्वेश्चनर पूरे होने में 2 महीने लग जाए. तो जो नेक्स्ट सेकंड में आप जाएंगे वो ऑलरेडी 2 महीने की मेच्योरिटी के साथ होंगे. सो आई वुड प्रेफर के साइमल्टेनियसली सारे के सारे 7 क्लासेस स्टडी की जाएं, 7 रिसर्चर्स के साथ, या जो भी आप अरेंज करते हो. क्योंकि उसके बीच में अगर टाइम गैप करेंगे तो जो क्रॉस सेक्शनल स्टडीज के ऑलरेडी डिसएडवांटेजेस आपको हैं, वो उसमें ये टाइम स्टैगर्ड टाइम बीच में आ जाएगा, इनबिल्ट टाइम बीच में, टाइम गैप बीच में आ जाएगा. लॉन्गिट्यूडिनल स्टडीज में क्या होता है, सेम ग्रुप ऑफ चिल्ड्रन is studied over a period of time as they progress from level to level. अब ये लॉन्गिट्यूडिनल स्टडी बहुत साल चलती है. ये मैं एक स्टैंडर्ड तरीके से नहीं बता सकती कि कितने साल। अगर मैं स्पीच डेवलपमेंट की स्टडी कर रही हूँ, हो सकता है 3 साल में ही जो इंक्यूबेशन पीरियड है, मैनिफेस्टेशन का टाइम है, वो पूरा हो जाए। बच्चों का जब लाला ताता शुरू होता है, उसके बाद 2-3 साल में काफी क्लियर स्पीच हो जाती है। सो लॉन्गिट्यूडिनल स्टडी फॉर स्पीच डेवलपमेंट कुड बी ओनली 3 years. But for cognitive development, it could take 7, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years. For emotional development, it could be even longer. I have read in my MSc a book by J.M. Tanner. He studied his own child for 18 years and he wrote that book, Growth at Adolescence. जो बायोलॉजी के लोग हैं आप में से, उनको पता होगा उस बुक का। बहुत ज्यादा पॉपुलर बुक थी और बहुत वेल रिटन बुक थी। So it can be as long as 18 years, 15 years. But today we don't have that kind of patience. So we have switched over to cross-sectional studies. But there is purity of data in case of longitudinal studies, but you can't continue with large sample for 10 years. They'll drop out. Your sample will, किसी की transfer हो गई, किसी का कुछ हो गया, कोई करना ही नहीं चाहता, वगैरह वगैरह। एक स्टडी हुई थी जेनेटिक स्टडीज ऑफ जीनियस, ये बेस्ट और कान की बुक में भी दी है, बेस्ट में भी दी है, औरों में भी देखी है मैंने। दिस वाज डन बाय टर्मन LMR इनिशियल्स। He took 1,000 gifted children. He studied them and prepared their norms. But after 6 years, he reassessed them. After 25 years, he reassessed them. After 35 years, he again reassessed them. Maybe his students did it, but 5 volumes have been published out of it. So genetic studies of genius is a really longitudinal, in real sense, longitudinal study. Next, please. Now I am giving one example. In a study on development of abstract thinking till 6th grade, मैंने सैंपल को लिमिट कर लिया, 6th grade तक ही करना है मुझे. For cross-sectional approach, you would study samples from 1st to 6th grade simultaneously, but please remember, simultaneously. अगर आपका पीरियड ऑफ डेटा कलेक्शन है 2-3 महीने है, तो वो 2-3 महीने में 6 के 6 ग्रेड्स को आप इकट्ठे लेंगे. And for longitudinal approach, क्या करेंगे आप? You would select a sample of first graders. It will depend on how much you can manage. Will you take 25 children? Will you take 50? Or will you take 100? And follow them through 6th grade for abstract thinking. Your tool of abstract thinking will continue for same tool for 6 years, which means the tool has to be developed very, very carefully. It should be a little futuristic also when you're studying abstract thinking. Not at least 15 years old tool on abstract thinking, because you're taking the study ahead for 6 years. This example I've already given, J.M. Tanner. Thank you so much. Next. I come to the third type of survey research. This is follow-up studies. We use this word very often. Follow up किया था क्या? Follow up हुआ था उस चीज का आगे कि नहीं हुआ था? Follow-ups can be mainly of 2 types for us. Otherwise, follow-up can be of n number of types. What is it? The first type is one serves the purpose of determining the status of group of interest after some period of time, akin to feedback to improve the situation. जैसे किसी भी सिचुएशन को जब हम इम्प्रूव करना चाहते हैं, तो जो इस सिचुएशन में से निकल गए होते हैं, हम उनको पूछते हैं, अरे भाई कैसा रहा, कैसा था, करियर काउंसलिंग ठीक था, वो वाला सेशन ठीक था, स्पीड ठीक थी, कंटेंट ठीक था, हम ये सब पूछते हैं. बीएड का सेशन निकल जाता है, बीए का निकल जाता है, हम उनको वापस जाते जाते या वापस बुला के आए साल ऑनलाइन या कैसे भी उनसे पूछते रहते हैं, एनी फीडबैक फॉर अस, एनीथिंग देयर वी कैन इम्प्रूव, प्लीज टेल अस. So even if we ask a question, are you employed after 4 years of the B.Ed completion? This is telling me a lot about my quality of the program. If the student is not employed after 4 years, that means something is wrong with the course or with the student or with the employer. But we also can look at our own program. Was the career counseling you received of use to you? अच्छा था कि नहीं था? आपको फायदा हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? इस तरह से आपके प्रोग्राम के जो मेन चंक्स हैं या जिनको आप सिग्निफिकेंट मानते हो उनके बारे में आप पूछ सकते हैं। फॉलो अप इसको कहेंगे हम। जो एलुमनाई एसोसिएशंस हैं इनका फॉलो अप के लिए बहुत बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंस है। कई बार हम उनको वापस अपने इंस्टीट्यूट में बुलाते हैं, भाई आके हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के साथ इंटरेक्ट करिए। हमारे यहाँ कई सारे लोग एमएड गाइडेंस एंड काउंसलिंग हमारे होता था 2 साल पहले, उनके कुछ पास आउट पीजीआई में एम्प्लॉय हो गए। 10 साल बाद हमने उनको बुलाया कि आप आइए, रिव्यू करिए सिलेबस को और जो करंट सिलेबस है उसको रिव्यू करिए, फीडबैक दीजिए हमें क्या क्या चीजें चेंज हो सकती हैं, स्टूडेंट्स के साथ इंटरेक्ट करिए। सो alumni also can tell you a lot on follow up. Second thing, which is very, very research oriented, second point which I'm mentioning, you may want to establish effectiveness of a treatment which comes in experimental studies actually after a period, maybe after 2 years, maybe after 6 months. In experimental study, you could have a delayed post-test. But if you have closed your study, you just go and check based on the same learning dimensions. What is the learning or retention of learning of the children or the students? Oh, please take care of the slides being visible to the others. I'm getting the message. Hello. After a period. So, yes.
You said you got a message
that slides are not sometimes being visible.
No, the slides are very clear. I'm here in the
All
session.
right.
Everything is very clear. Dr. Gupta, carry on.
All right. So let them not send the messages. Sorry, next slide, please. हम next पे थे. बच्चे हम next पे थे. Okay. So जब हम effectiveness देखना चाहते हैं, लेकिन आपने मेरा तो audio on है. I got a message on audio. Sujata, are you getting the
Sir, you're loud and clear. Everything
All
is clear. You please
Ignore
don't
the
look at the
messages.
chat. Ignore the messages. We have no
All right.
control over the messages. You please
All
ignore
right.
the messages. Yeah.
All right, all right. So if you've closed your experimental study and you still want to study the retention of the learning which happened due to your treatment, you could just investigate that and describe that. That's how it falls under follow-up study. That's how it falls under descriptive study, because you are not dealing with experimental thing, but now you want to just see how much is the retention. But at times we make it as part of experimental study. कभी एक delayed post test कर लेते हैं 3 महीने बाद, 6 महीने बाद. एक इसमें और चीज मुझे याद आई. एक बार मैं एक सेशन अटेंड कर रही थी, इंटरेस्ट टेस्ट का डेवलपमेंट, स्ट्रॉन्ग्स वोकेशनल इंटरेस्ट ब्लैंक. जो फैकल्टी मेंबर था उसने बताया मुझे, 4-5 साल पुरानी बात ही है. ही सेड जो इंटरेस्ट ब्लैंक डेवलप हुआ along 40 years they worked on it. So experimental study का आप इफेक्ट, ट्रीटमेंट का इफेक्ट आप 40 years तक तो नहीं देख सकते, लेकिन डिस्क्रिप्शन जरूर देख सकते हो. 10 साल बाद भी, 5 साल बाद भी. अगर आपका ट्रीटमेंट 6 साल, 1 साल चला तो इफेक्ट भी लंबा चलना चाहिए. लेकिन जो डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द टूल्स है उसका डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ, जैसे टर्मन ने किया उसी तरह से आप टूल्स की डेवलपमेंट का भी 40 years बाद वैलिडेट करते हैं दोबारा से. इज इट गुड इनफ स्टिल? सो उस तरह से भी आप डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्टडी में फॉलो अप कर सकते हो. वो तीसरा एलिमेंट हो जाएगा, विच आई हैव नॉट मेंशन्ड इन द स्लाइड. आई एम सॉरी, इट जस्ट अकर टू मी नाउ ओनली. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. Yes. Fourth type of survey study is sociometric study. Now let's look at what is sociometry. Sociometry is the assessment and analysis of the interpersonal relationships within a group of individuals. Who are the group of individuals? Mostly who occur together for long periods. For example, classes and sections of the classes, or some play groups, or some teams which are going to contest outside, or teams practice for years and years and then they have international matches. सो सोशियोमेट्री इज द असेसमेंट एंड एनालिसिस. असेस करते हो पहले आप उसको, फिर एनालाइज करते हो किस चीज को, इंटरपर्सनल रिलेशनशिप्स, किसकी किसके साथ एफिनिटी है, कौन किसको इतना पसंद नहीं करता, कौन किसको बिल्कुल इनवाइट नहीं करना चाहता, मे बी हेट करता है. सो ये किस तरह से किया जाता है. अगर मेरी क्लास 25 स्टूडेंट्स की है मान लो, उसमें से मैं 25वां हूं और बाकी 24 और हैं. अगर मुझे मेरी टीचर कहती है आप सारे बच्चे 3-3 बच्चों के नाम लिखो जिनको आप ऑर्डर में प्रेफरेंस के ऑर्डर में आप उनके साथ लंच करना चाहोगे या साइंस की कोई एक्टिविटी करना चाहोगे या जो भी, उन 3-3 के नाम लिख दो. सो क्या होगा, आपके पास 24 सेट्स 3-3 नामों के मिल जाएंगे. उन 24 में से कुछ बच्चे ऐसे होंगे जो बहुत बार नाम ज्यादा बार लिखे हुए होंगे, रिकर कर रहे होंगे, लेकिन कुछ ऐसे बच्चे भी होंगे जिनको किसी ने कहा ही नहीं कि मैं इसके साथ भी जाना चाहता हूँ या खेलना चाहता हूँ या लंच करना चाहता हूँ या जो भी. So the process involves asking each member to indicate with which other members he or she will like to engage in a particular activity. It could be science lab, it could be dissection, it could be field trip, it could be khana khana, it could be party, it could be anything. Choices may vary as per activity. अब ये तो हम सबको जानते हैं, जिसके साथ खाना खाएंगे जरूरी तो नहीं है साइंस लैब में भी उसके पास साथ ही जाना चाहेंगे. So the choices could differ. Now, what matters is the teacher can analyze which child is the most popular, which child is minimally popular, or which child is not chosen at all, and what are the reasons into that. This gives a background into the relationships in the class, the cohesion in the class. Choices made by each members are depicted in a graph called sociogram, जो मैं अभी दिखाऊंगी आपको. सोशियोग्राम से क्या, वैसे मैं पहले दिखा दूं फिर वापस आएंगे. जो भी स्लाइड्स को ऑपरेट कर रहा है बेटी, एक बार आगे चले जाओ फिर पीछे आ जाना. अब इसमें कुछ बच्चों के नाम हैं, मेल्स भी हैं फीमेल्स भी हैं. इसमें आप देख रहे हो कुछ लाइनें ऐसी हैं जिनमें एक ही तरफ एरो है, कईयों में दोनों तरफ एरो है. जहां दोनों तरफ है, जैसे ट्रेसी और टोना और टियोना, उन दोनों ने एक दूसरे को चूज किया है. लेकिन लीजा और ट्रेसी में लीजा ने ट्रेसी को चूज किया है, ट्रेसी ने लीजा को चूज नहीं किया. सो इट कुड बी म्यूचुअल, इट कुड बी वन साइडेड. सो लेकिन इस तरह से क्या है, ट्रेसी को लीजा ने नंबर दे दिया लेकिन लीजा को ट्रेसी ने नंबर नहीं दिया. प्लीज गो बैक बेटी, प्लीज गो बैक. ओके, सो जिसके नंबर सबसे ज्यादा होंगे, जैसे अगर हम टॉप की चॉइस को 3 नंबर दे दें, मिडल वाली चॉइस को 2 दे दें, लास्ट वाली को 1 दे दें, तो आपके ज्यादा नंबर, सारे नंबरों को सारे चॉइसेस को 24 से गुना कर दें, आपके पास कुछ नंबर आ जाएंगे. Sociogram will identify clearly who are the stars, who are the most wanted, who are the popular ones, who are isolates. कोई बच्चे ऐसे होते हैं जिनको कोई भी नहीं पसंद करता, reasons could be many, and cliques. छोटे ग्रुप्स भी होते हैं, बड़े ग्रुप में छोटे छोटे ग्रुप्स भी होते हैं. वो कौन कौन से हैं, क्या क्या कोहेजन है, क्या क्या एफिनिटीज हैं क्लास में, कौन एक दूसरे के साथ ज्यादा काम करना चाहता है. So it may also start indicating the personality characteristics, या तो आइसोलेट्स की या एरोगेंट्स की, या जिनको जबरदस्ती लोग पसंद करते हैं क्योंकि कल को ग्रुप में से निकाल दिया जाएगा या खेला नहीं जाएगा उनके साथ, या जो भी रीजंस हैं. बट दिस गिव्स यू अ good picture of which child is popular, which child is ignored, which child is not so well taken in the class, so that so this is a description of the affinities within the groups, so that some action can be taken. जबरदस्ती हम किसी को किसी के साथ भेज नहीं सकते हैं, लेकिन जो आइसोलेट्स हैं उनके हम कारण ढूंढ सकते हैं कि वो आइसोलेट क्यों है और क्या किया जा सकता है. हो सकता है कुछ बच्चों के बारे में कुछ किया भी जा सके. So this describes. Next, please. नहीं, आप सोशियोग्राम पे वापस आ जाओ. All right. अगर नीचे वाला सेक्शन पता नहीं आपको दिख रहा होगा कि नहीं, मैंने एक एरो के, एक लाइन के जो जहां दोनों तरफ एरो लगा है both individuals selected each other, and it's a positive, based on a positive criterion. Whereas नीचे वाला जिसमें एक ही तरफ arrow लगा है, the individual, okay, thanks, individual selected the person, the arrow is pointing at the base of the positive criterion, मतलब एक ही तरफ है वो. और जो नीचे सोर्स दिया है मैंने यहाँ से ये वाला लिया है. सो अगर आपको चाहिए तो आप यहाँ से दोबारा जाके देख सकते हो, और बहुत सारे सोशियोग्राम्स दिए हुए हैं, बट आई थॉट दिस द बेस्ट वन. अगर आपको मेल फीमेल का भी एनालाइज करना हो, अगर आपकी क्लास 60 बच्चों की है, बॉम्बे में तो 80, 60, 65 ऐसे बहुत होते हैं, तो आप मेल फीमेल का भी एनालिसिस कर सकते हैं. कौन सी female student is more in wanted in company, for company of others, and similarly the male. It could give you various kinds of analysis. Next, please. Okay. Now we have finished with self-report research. Even in sociometry, the children are on their own reporting. So all those 4 types were self-report research. Now we are coming to observational research, wherein the researcher observes. You as a researcher will observe. Your JRF, Junior Research Fellow, will observe after your training, which you give to the person, depending on the theme, depending on what is to be observed, how intensely it is to be observed, etc., etc. So you are the researcher, is the person who is important. Let's look at it. In observational research, current status of a phenomenon is determined not by asking, but by observation. What was happening in self-report research? We were asking through either interview or through questionnaire or through checklist or through rating scale or some other tool. लेकिन बच्चे के सामने या जो भी आपका सैंपल सब्जेक्ट है उसके सामने वो टूल पड़ा है और वो उसको अपने आप से भर रहा है, या आपके इंटरव्यू के दौरान जो आप उनको पूछ रहे हो उसका वो जवाब दे रहा है. क्या इंग्लिश वाले पार्टिसिपेंट्स को हिंदी समझ में आता है? Please answer. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So आप ऑब्जर्व करते हो, आप अदरवाइज सेल्फ रिपोर्ट में पूछते. सो यहाँ आपका जो थिंकिंग है, आपकी जो बैकग्राउंड है, जिसकी पर्सनैलिटी आपकी बनी हुई है, दैट विल कम इनटू प्ले व्हाइल यू आर नोटिंग डाउन व्हाट यू ऑब्जर्व्ड. For certain research questions, clearly observation is the most appropriate approach. Now let's look at one example. How do you handle discipline problems in classroom? ये आपकी रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम है, आप लोगों को ये सवाल पूछ रहे हो. अगर आप जाके प्रिंसिपल को पूछोगे अपने टीचर्स के बारे में, सॉरी, अगर आप इसको क्वेश्चनियर की तरह दोगे एज अ क्वेश्चन, people may not really be interested in telling you each and everything. They may tell you truth, which again is one is not too sure. लेकिन अगर आप पूछोगे तो इतना क्लियर और क्रिस्प आंसर शायद ना मिले. लेकिन जब आप ऑब्जर्व करते हो क्लास के पीछे बैठ के या ऑनलाइन या जैसे भी, तो आप सब कुछ ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हो, and you can make out a lot of things. Second question could be, what are distraction patterns among students? आपको वो कुछ बता भी देंगे, टीचर भी बता देगी थोड़ी बहुत, लेकिन जो आप ऑब्जर्व करके जान सकते हो वो उतना अच्छा नहीं होगा जितना पूछ के होगा. What are the socio-economic conditions of a colony? Now this particular thing occurred to me. We went for a basic youth leadership training camp in our BSc. One of our participants went on to observe the socio-economic conditions of a colony, wherein we went later because she brought in very good results, and that can easily fit in observational research. Sometimes you have just narratives कि जाओ भी देख के आओ क्या क्या हो रहा है वहां पे, और उसके हिसाब से आप जज करते हो कि किस तरह की इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन होंगी. अगर वो नलके से पानी खींच खींच के भर के अंदर ले जा रहे हैं, वहां पे रेगुलर पानी कई घरों में नहीं आ रहा है. बच्चे किस तरह की गेम्स खेल रहे हैं, दूर खड़े होके आप देख रहे हो किसी टिल्ले पे, कहीं ऊंची जगह पे. तो आपको बहुत कुछ आप ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हो जो पूछ के उतना नहीं पता लगेगा. एक चीज मैं एग्जांपल, सुजाता, am I visible to all? Can I do an action?
Yes,
Okay.
you're very much visible. You can just use bit of English more because there is a mixed group, so little bit of
All
switching
right.
between two would help. Thank you.
All
Thank you.
right. I'll do that. I'll do that. Um,
You can show
well,
an
again,
action.
all right. I'll do that. There was a child in the center of our department, maybe Betty knows or remembers or Sujata remembers. He used to do this. I will do that now. Please look. बहुत तेज करता था, उतना तेज मैं नहीं कर पाई और उससे बहुत डिस्ट्रैक्शन होता था. Do you remember? Okay. Anyway, so every person will interpret it differently depending on the background you have. I may say something else. He wants to just do away with the chalk which he was, which he by chance, got from the play material. Or, somebody else will interpret it differently. I may give you one example, one sentence, and you think of only that, nothing beyond, nothing before. A child, please listen, a child removed his shoes before going to playground. It could be interpreted very, very differently. Very, very differently. A person can say he removed the shoes because they were new. He didn't want to spoil them. Another one says, ground ki requirement hai that he has to remove the shoes. Game ki requirement hai. Or the shoes were his sister's. He doesn't want to spoil because he has worn without her knowledge. So observation is the biggest truth, but while interpreting, it doesn't remain the biggest truth because your personality comes in it. So the biases and prejudices, while interpreting the observational research data, creep in. One has to be very, very careful. Observational research is a very, very difficult method of research. Very easy to observe and record. But to interpret, you change completely. I can give you 30 versions of the child removed his shoes and went to the playground. 30 versions of what students have been saying. Every year I ask the same thing. So observations, interpretations are very, very difficult. Next, please. Okay. I deliberately chose the process of research in observational studies because it's slightly different than the others, survey and descriptive. You identify the problem that, of course, is always there. Identify situations to observe. If I want to study only the disturbed children in the classes, then I will identify the situations to observe, where all they can manifest their disturbed behavior. Seek permissions. You as a researcher may want to observe them in drinking water areas or library or playground or any music room. The principal may not like it, so you have to seek permissions. Prepare schedules very, very carefully, depending on the problem which you want to observe. Tools of observation. Observation के लिए कभी भी बना हुआ tool नहीं मिलेगा आपको क्योंकि it's very specific. You have to make it yourself and probably dummy test it also so that you really know कि क्या miss कर दिया और क्या हो गया है. Now, next step is very important. Of course, the previous prepare schedules is very, very important. Without that, whole research or without a good quality of schedule, whole research will go haywire. Now, what is the process? You could observe, write narratives, you could record, you could click, you could check frequencies. जैसे मैंने ये वाली example ली थी, उसमें you could check frequencies. How many times a child does it within 1 minute, within a period, within 5 minutes, frequencies. You could just go on putting tallies till you are done with 8 minutes, 5 minutes observation or whatever. And rates. Within a particular unit of time, how many times he does a particular behavior. Examine intensities, intensity, magnitude. A pulled B, pushed him away, and he fell in such a way that his head started bleeding. What is the response of B? Is he manhandling the child? Is he giving equal response? Is he only abusing? Is he saying, "Aapko aise nahi karna chahiye tha. You shouldn't have done this. This is not good." So what is the response? The response as well as the original action, what are the magnitudes? It's very important. Record durations of behaviors. How long does one behavior, one occurrence last? Study routines. You may want to study routines by observing. Study activities of people, as I said, socioeconomic conditions of a colony. Click pictures after permission. This is very important. There are so many places where permissions are not there, but we still go on clicking. At times, it could happen this way that you have collected all the data and you're ready to, compile and submit and all. Somebody raised a query. In that colony, she clicked pictures without permission. Now, we wish all the pictures to be deleted from the thing. Now, what do we do? If there is a permission, you are rightfully doing it, you're authentically doing it. So one should do that. In museums and in so many places, if we wish to observe the visitors, even then we need permission. So compile, analyze, relate, correlate, create hypothesis. Your research could be only meant to create a question or to create a hypothesis, observational research. At times it could answer some questions. At times it could just generate a hypothesis. If it's a special child, what all happened at the time of birth, you have collected data and all that, and you spoke to nurse, during home visit, you observed everything. And you observe the child in certain situations if he goes to school. So now you know why the child is special. So कुछ बत्तियां चमकेंगी, कुछ लाइट जलेगी, ट्यूबलाइट जलेगी, आपके brain waves आएंगी. After you have read your data, reread your data, and reread your data, you will get some understanding. Because at times we write in bits and pieces, we click a picture and keep it. We write in various types of papers. Once we put everything in order, compile in proper flow, then you may be able to answer the question that you started with. Yes, next please. Types, we are all familiar with these. Non-participant observational research, participant simulation. There was one more which was naturalistic observation. I guess it should be natural all the time in any case. All the time the attempt is to keep it natural rather than make it artificial. So separately it wasn't telling anything, so I deleted it. Then case study and ethnography. Case study uses many other methods also within itself. Many other sources of data or styles of data collection, but it also uses observation, hence I put it here. Ethnography, mostly based on observation, but it's also called cultural anthropology or naturalistic inquiry. We move on to the types. Next. Yes, thank you. नॉन पार्टिसिपेंट का मतलब है कि आप रिसर्च के जो आपका सिचुएशन है जिसको आप ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हो उसके अंदर नहीं हो, उसके बीच में नहीं बैठे हो, आप बाहर हो, दूर भी हो सकते हो, पास भी हो सकते हो, लेकिन जो ग्रुप है उनके बीच में नहीं हो. In this type of study, observer is not directly involved in the situation which is to be observed. Observer is on the outside, looking in, and does not intentionally interact with or affect the object of observation. जब आप interact करो, when you interact with the subjects who are being observed, you will obviously affect the object or जो आपका purpose है उसका observation का, that will get spoiled. That will get, if not completely spoiled, but colored or changed slightly. So you are not part of the subjects who are being observed. आप मुझे मालूम नहीं है how many of you are B.Ed teachers, whether regular or special. Well, some would be certainly. Now, observation of B.Ed lessons in classes from the back door of the room allows you to observe a lot more also, not just the lesson. You can check a lot of things. Who are the children? Who are the children who are mischievous? Who are the children who do not work? Who are the children who do more other things than the lesson, following the lesson or learning in the class? So not just the student's lesson, but you're observing a lot more. Only thing which is required is when you enter from the back door, many classes have two doors. When you enter from the back door, even the teacher should not know that you have entered. Otherwise, kya, pehle wo khade honge, fir baithe, everybody knows and the behavior is colored. So it doesn't help. So you are not part of the observational setting. Next. Participant observation. In participant observation, observer usually becomes a part of or participant in the situation to be observed. Rationale for this is that view from inside is somewhat different from view from outside who's looking in. Researcher is outside but is looking in. It's not the same as a view from inside. At times you need the real view from inside. So degree of participation can vary. It can be covert, it can be overt. It can be more, it can be less. So the researcher may manage to get hired as a teacher so that he can observe or so that he can attend the faculty meetings. So it depends what is your interest of observation. If you managed yourself to be hired as a teacher, you will look as a natural teacher and you can be a participant observer. Next, please. Simulation observation. I don't know how many of you are familiar with micro teaching lessons. It's a simulated observation. When first time one Indian, Rakesh Sharma, I think his name was, he went during Indira Gandhi's times, he went to be trained in the situation labs where the rockets were to be propelled. That situation was simulated. The B.Ed lessons which we practice in our own department before sending them to the real field, those lessons are simulated. Let's come to it. Researcher creates the situation to be observed. He creates, it's not there. He creates it. He invites it. He engages the subjects in suitable activities. Those activities which are suitable to the manifestation of that behavior which you want to be observed. This allows the researcher to observe behaviors which occur infrequently in natural settings. Naturally, they may not be occurring at all. But when given a particular activity, you would get to know certain things, which many class teachers also do to pick up on children who would create problems and disturbances in particular situations. So they create those activities. For example, observing a teacher training, role play a teacher-parent conference. We in our Department of Special Education used to have parent-teacher meetings for the MEd students who were being trained in MEd Special. And I have created a situation for that, which will be in the next slide. I'll be coming to that. Now, when the situation is simulated, most of us know that this was not happening suddenly. It has started to happen, or the group has changed, or you're taken to another place to be doing it, or the natural period was of geography and now this is happening. So it could be unnatural. Behaviors could be artificial or initially artificial. Later they may forget and start behaving naturally. However, there is a chance of getting carried away with their roles, whatever roles they are given, and learning or exhibiting true to life emotions. I come to one example. Next, please. Okay. Now, this is for that MEd student who's getting trained for parent-teacher meets. This is an artificial situation. It didn't happen, but you are simulating it. Yesterday, Geeta Suri, who is a special child in your group, Geeta Suri was caught drawing pictures on the bench. You made her stay after school, wash the bench, wax the bench, clean it well. Principal has just informed you that a very upset Mrs. Suri is on her way to meet you. What will you say to Mrs. Suri? This is a completely simulated situation. The MEd student has to tell the supervisor or the teacher, for example, Sujata Bhan, कि भाई आप क्या कहोगे मिसेस सूरी को कि आपने बच्चे को स्कूल के बाद रोका, बेंच साफ कराया, वैक्स कराया, टोटली वॉश कराया, वगैरह वगैरह. क्या क्या आप बोलोगे उनको? That statement is very important for the relationships, for the truth to prevail, for the best to happen. So it is a simulated situation for simulated observation situation for us, and for researcher also can create in the same way. Next, please. Ethnography. Now, there are two things which I have not really put in it that should have been put in it, but since it would go in a lot of detail, that's why I didn't put, but I'll just mention those. What is ethnography? A portrayal and explanation of social groups and social situations in their real life context, that's all. A portrayal and explanation of social groups and situations in real life contexts. Now, what is data collection? Most of the time, observations. Or patterns of actions. क्या observe करते हैं? What all do we observe? Patterns of actions, verbal and non-verbal interactions between whom? Members of the social groups. It could be a classroom. It could be a team member. It could be a players group. As well as between subjects and researcher and subjects, both. So it could be patterns of actions, verbal interaction between members of social groups, non-verbal interaction between members of social groups, interactions between subjects and researcher, and her informants also. Many times the research is such that you may have informants with you. You may have sent your researchers, to collect data here and there to prepare a base on what is to be done next. So whichever interaction, whether verbal or non-verbal, that will be observed and recorded and, analyzed. Researcher and informants, please mind you, learn native language of the groups. If you don't, you really can't observe. And live in the groups for a considerable time. Now, what is considerable? It's a qualitative word. It really can't be defined. That will depend on your purpose. What is your research? What is it that you want to observe? Depending on that, it could be just 2 months. It could be 6 months. It could be 7 days. So your learning of the language, native language, and staying within them as natural people only will let you portray and explain the social groups in real life situations. Next, please. Move back, please. Yes. There are two things which are very, very important here, which I told I have not mentioned because that will take us a lot further into ethnography. Emic and etic. Emic is something which deals with the perceptions or the perspectives of the group which is being studied. Whereas etic is the observer's perception, researcher's perception. There has to be a balance, and it can't be only observer's perception because it will go on interfering with your explanations, portrayals. So it has to be as real as possible. It has to be more of emic than of etic. We have to learn how do we incorporate emic, etic, ETIC, EMIC, both. They play a lot of role in ethnography. That's all where I will close because they are opposed to each other. One is researcher's perspective and the other is social groups which is being studied, uska perspective. So it has to be balanced. Please move next. Yes, last one in Sujata ma'am. How much time do I have? I'll have to. How much
10
time?
minutes? 10
All
minutes,
right.
10 minutes. Yeah.
All right. All right. All of us have heard about case study. This has been written so simply that I will go over it. Method of exploring and analyzing the life of a social unit, be it a person, a family, or institution, or community. Institution could be Sanar School, could be Arya Vidya Mandir School, a family, maybe Ranga Billa's family, a person, a special child, a community which has really been a subject of interest in the world over or something like that. Primary purpose of a case study is to determine the factors, the relationships among factors that have resulted in the current behavior or status of the subject. Only case study, no the descriptive research, may determine why also, not just what. Why did a particular thing happen? Next, please. It is of many types we can take up of a child because there can be, as I said, group or family or something like that. There are more than that also, but I mentioned only 3, 4. Let's take a child. The kind of information that you require is general, psychological, behavioral, educational, sensorial, emotional. Out of these, behavioral will be observed since we are dealing with observational research. And observation is just one of the techniques. Otherwise, you could be using testing for psychological, doctor's information for sensorial, some tools or classroom teachers for educational. So it's the behavioral which you will be more observing, some bit of psychological also. So you observe his behaviors and interactions in classroom, home, during home visit, or neighborhood, or playground, anti-motor areas, or library, or dining hall. Some school.
क्या कर रहा है? लीटर कैसे लिखा है? और मीटर भी गलत लिखा है. मैंने कैसे लिखा है?
Oh my
इधर से
God.
मात्रा लगेगी, इधर से मात्रा लगेगी. दोबारा करो. वहां पे मात्रा लगेगी, दोबारा मिटा के सब सही करो.
ये पीछे से क्या आवाजें आ रही हैं?
Next, please.
लेटर लग रहा है.
Miss Archana Gupta, we request you to
सब
please
मात्रा
mute
सही
your
करो.
mic.
वो
Archana
पीछे से
Gupta,
अपनी क्लास चल रही है उनकी.
कैसे लगाओगे?
Archana Gupta, please mute your mic.
ऐसे लीटर में भी इधर से खत्म होता.
हे भगवान, this is too much.
Shall I continue?
Yes, please continue. I mean, what do we do? They don't listen.
That's fine. That's fine. If others can listen to me, that's okay. No problem.
मैंने क्या कहा? पतली चीजें.
So whatever information comes from
फैल सकता है ना? ऐसे फैल
whatever
जाएगा.
information comes from various sources, you have to check the congruence of that. I'll make it louder. I made it louder.
One second.
Is it better?
Yukti, madam, can you please take her out for a while? Please take her out for a while. I think she's busy teaching the child. Please take her out for a while. Anyway, 11:30 is a break, so please take her out.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Whatever data comes from various sources, you have to check the congruence of that. In case it's incongruent, some bits of information, you have to check, re-examine, and tap the sources from where you took it again. Next, please. Next, please. Content analysis. I'm so sorry. This will take at least 10 minutes. Now, this is concerned with status of some phenomenon at a particular time or development over time of that phenomenon. What are the objects whose content you may study? What are the documents whose content you may study? Letters, diaries, books, reports, records, printed forms, autobiographies, court decisions, compositions, periodicals, articles, pictures, cartoons, films, syllabi, and many more. I have mentioned few of these. Depending on your purpose, you may need a teacher's diary. Depending on the purpose, you may need the printed form for income tax filing, what kind it was in 1994, or things of that sort. But when you're analyzing authenticity and validity of the printed material is the responsibility of the researcher. If it's not, your whole exercise can go waste. And what is the important focus? It's the current documents and the current issues. Document analysis is done in historical research also, but those are past documents. For example, if there is an account of how did Bhindranwale rise and fall, Punjab's person who was very important during those days of terrorism, then that document will be counted in historical research. But if you're analyzing current documents, we may call it document analysis or content analysis, the focus has to be on current documents and the current issues. That's how the content analysis is done. I'll take one or two examples. The next, please. Analysis of errors in classwork notebooks of 6th grade students, maybe in English, maybe in maths. It can be any subject. Vocabulary level of 6th standard books of ICSE board. You are analyzing a book, you are analyzing the content of the book. What kind of illustrations are there or vocabulary is there? Is it too high? Is it too low? Or how are the value systems tackled in the 6th standard books of CBSE board? You can analyze contents in any way. Entrance requirements of Punjab University MA courses as revealed by Handbook of Information. Every year we publish Handbook of Information. If you take 10s of those or 5 of those, 3 of those, you will understand what are the changes in the entrance requirements. So content analysis. Mainly the documents which are available, depending on your motive of research, you will be analyzing the content of any letter or any document which is available. Next, please. Scope. I think if the time is up, this is very self-explanatory because we've done the types. It's up to you, Sujata ma'am. Do I have little time?
Maybe you can quickly go through it. We don't have much
All right.
time, but just quickly.
All right. Descriptive research defines subject characteristic. It could be just as simple as that. They vary this much, their mean is that, their average is that, this percentile, that percent. Measure data trends. They observe changes over time. Every time you do a descriptive research and you compare many researches done over time, you will know the trends. Compares, correlations, which are very, very important for next level researches. It validates existing conditions. Yes. Since you don't manipulate, it is natural. When it is natural, there is more quality. It forms a basis of decision making depending on the description. Many times the decisions will be based on that. At times, it also forms a basis of experimental studies. Given this is the situation, I can plan this. The student's level is this, I can do a spelling intervention, something like that. Next. Next, please. Next, please. All assessments, and the Department of Education has a lot of special education has a lot of assessments. They all use descriptive research if it has to be a project or something like that. Development of tools uses descriptive research most of the times. Developmental norms made available through descriptive research. जो आज के वक्त में pediatrician आपको देता है, norms, head circumference कितना होना चाहिए, arm circumference, skin fold measure, वो सारे descriptive research से available हुए हैं आपको. Next, please. I think I can skip it. I can skip it. Thank you so much. Thank you for patience. If there is time, I can take questions. Otherwise, tomorrow in the break, I can again log in and take questions.
Ma'am, we can actually mail the questions to you in case if anyone has a question.
Okay.
There is one question, Yukti. We can take one question. There is just one question. We can take one question. Dr. Sukash Sharma is asking a question. Descriptive research is generally quantitative, but observational research is more qualitative in nature. Can it be quantitative also?
It can be qualitative, quantitative, both. It can be one out of these, it can be both also.
Okay. All right. So we will take the remaining questions and mail them to you in case anybody is particular about, something, we will mail it to you.
Yes, yes, I
Yeah,
will
we have
welcome
now-
it.
Yeah, yeah. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank
Say
you. I
my
think
hello say my hello to
Thank you,
Professor Mukhopadhyay, please.
yeah, she's saying hello to you. She was sitting through your session
Thank you.
and she
Thank you
was
so
very
much.
happy. She
She's
was
such a
messaging me.
motivation
Yes, she's a role model for all of us. For all
for
of
all
us.
of us.
Yes,
Certainly,
yes.
certainly. Thank you
But
so
I
much.
must say, your session was excellent, very nicely explained, very clear.
Thank you.
And I was reminded of our, student days. Just wo Nishat is also attending the session. You remember Nishat? She's also there. I'm
Yes.
sure she must be remembering her lectures
Send her
with
a
you.
pic. Send me a
Yes,
pic of Nishat.
yes, I will. I will. I will. So,
Thank you
say a
all.
formal thanks. But
Yes,
Yes. Thank you so much, all of you, for patience, and thanks, Sujata, also. Do I log out?
ma'am, I'll just give formal thank you.
All
Um,
right.
yeah, thank you very much, Professor Gupta. It was a wonderful and enriching session. So I would like to
Thank you.
quote one quote which was given by Albert Sen Gargi. It says that research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. So the session was enriching, informative, and wonderful, ma'am. Thank you so much for clear and
Thank
crisp
you.
information. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.